Hey. Ooh, that was a puff. Hello, welcome in. I'm just ironing some fabric. I'm going to make wax wraps. So I just thought I'd throw it on while I was doing it. This piece seems a little big. I didn't have an ironing board, so I got my little table here and I'm gonna make some wax wraps. Guess they weren't interested. Oop. So you don't really have to iron your fabric. You do need to wash it. You need to get all the chemical out of it. If you are not sure what wax wraps are, they go on your food and help save on, like, it's just like a plastic wrap, but they're reusable. Really neat. They last like 6 to 8 months or up to a year. You just rinse them off with some cold water, but you're only using three ingredients to make them with. I have a bunch of fabric here, but it has to be 100% cotton because it's going to go over food. Ironing isn't always actually necessary because as soon as you put the wax on it, the hot wax, it's going to melt it anyways. But you use just a little bit of, the pine rosin, and then you have the jojoba oil. So I have that, and you have to have 100% beeswax. So that's what I got. So I got all this off from Amazon. I got quite a big bag. But yes, I got all this off from Amazon. So like I said, you don't actually have to iron it all out because as soon as you put the wax on it, you can do it like one of two ways. You can put it in the oven and like bring it out after just a few minutes and then brush the rest of the wax. You want to do that on not necessarily wax paper, but I have some butcher paper I'm gonna put it on, and then you just take a paintbrush and you make sure, and when you pick it up, it literally dries within seconds. You can wave it and it already dries. And then what you do is it's very pliable, and then you put it around your bowls. You can make little bags out of it, like sandwich baggies out of it. Some of these don't even need to be ironed at all, but I just thought I'm already doing it, and I got a little rack set up here, and I thought, well, I was up till like 2 o'clock this morning washing all this fabric. I washed it all by hand. I have a ton of fabric, and then I moved last year, and I broke my knee, not moving, but before that. And I thought my family was when they saw how much fabric I had and craft in general. So I forgot about all the fabric I already had in my closet, and I had gone out and bought more. So I have like fabric coming out my ears right now. But anyways, yeah, so once they have the wax on them, they're really super simple to make. But I'm just, yeah, if it's like really, like I have one here, the cotton on it. So I would definitely probably want to iron that, but I don't necessarily have to iron them all right now. I could just, do them as I went, or, like this particular piece really is pretty smooth. I really don't even need to waste my time, but I'm going to do it anyways. This is a pretty fabric. But one thing that I did yesterday that I wish I would have thought of before I cut all this fabric into half a yard, that a lot of the fabric that I had bought, and I bought it off like the remnant rack at our whatever you want to call it, cheapy store. But they didn't necessarily say that they were 100% cotton. So ChatGPT, if you use that, is amazing, said not to use it unless you know that it's 100% cotton, because it's going to be going near food. And one of the reasons why you have to wash it all ahead of time is because of it has, chemicals still on it, and, dirty from wherever they were manufactured. And so you definitely don't have to iron them, but you definitely have to wash your fabric. So all I did was just put it in my sink last night with some cold water, put a bunch of it, and then I put it in my washing machine. I just put it on the rinse cycle and spin. But you can see this one, but I think this one would be cute. I got, it's got little bees in it, if you can see it. And then I'm going to make a 3-pack. So I'm going to make probably say like the big one of this. This would go for like a big bowl. So you'd make this one maybe like a 14 by 14. And then the next one might be like a, say a 10 by 10. And then what I might do is, if I have another solid color, I have a yellow. You can do it any way you want. You don't have to match pieces, but this yellow doesn't exactly go, but or it could be close. But this is how myself that I wanted to do it. I kind of wanted some matching pieces, so I thought I got the little honeycomb. This is the big one, like a 14 by 14. Make like a 10 by 10. You can make them whatever you want. And then thank you for the like, I appreciate it. And then this one here, I could do like a 6 by 6 or something. And you can literally take them and you can, because I wish I had some made here. But you can take them and you can make like a little bag out of them, and you can, because they're so pliable, you can take and bend the sides in, and you can make a little sandwich baggie. Put your sandwiches in. That'd be great for summer. Say you had a garlic, half a thing of garlic. You could just take it and I just ironed this one, but it'll be fine. But say this was smaller and a 4x4 piece, and the wax, you literally just take it around your food, and you just crumple it right up around it. And then when you're done with it, you just take it out, you open it up, you just take some cold water, you just wash it off, and that's it. And you can fold them and store them and put them away till the next time. And you're saving on all that plastic wrap that you don't have to fight with the, trying to tear it out of the box and everything. But YouTube has like a million videos on it. A lot of them, I noticed a lot of 5 years old, so, but like it said, 100% cotton. But back to what I was saying about ChatGPT. So if I had a piece, I wish I would have thought of this before I cut all this fabric. Because when I bought it like a yard and a half, or even if I got it off the remnant thing, if it was like a yard and a half, actually you can get, you can get 4. You can get 4 out of a yard, so a yard and a half. You could get like 6 of them. But anyways, you would you just take it, and this one didn't have it actually. But it actually, even when I took a picture of it, it said yes, that definitely is 100% cotton. But anyways, for example, like this one here. So I tell ChatGPT, this is Folio by Henry Glass. Then ChatGPT goes and looks up Folio by Henry Glass and then comes back with, yes, that is 100% cotton. So it's a great tool. So, but like I said, I wish I would have thought of that before I did it. Oh, I wish I would have seen that. I need to put up like my iPad so I can see all the comments. I kind of got I got the phone like at an angle. I can't really see all the comments, but I appreciate it, and the likes and the subscriptions, and I really appreciate them all. But like I said, you don't have to iron it. Like this particular one, yes, because it was very, very wrinkly, and it would make it harder to even cut the correct size. So, but it's fun. It's actually kind of relaxing just sitting here doing this. And, I know they say, well, you don't actually have to iron it. And I'm like, I know, but I spent 6 hours washing all that fabric. So if you're just joining, hello, I am making wax wraps for food. And I'm just ironing out. If the fabric is really, really wrinkled, you have to iron it out. But you have to wash all the fabric to get any of the dirt and chemicals and oils off. And boy, when you wash it and you see how much is actually coming off the fabric, makes you wonder why, when you make something, why you don't always wash it. But you don't necessarily have to iron them all now, but it's kind of a dreary, snowy day, and thought I will iron this fabric. And I like the tie-dye. The tie-dye is pretty. Hello, welcome in. I'm making wax wraps for food. They're like pliable wraps that go around your food. And you put them in the oven, or you can just put the pellets, the wax pellets on top of your fabric. I'm using butcher paper to put between it. I'm going to do mine in the oven. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put my wax, my beeswax pellets, and couple of things that I needed. I have them right here. You have this oil, this oil here. I should probably take it off the wrap. I just got it in from Amazon, and it out of the wrap. But this is the oil. You just put in a tiny bit of that oil. And then this is like pine rosin. You put that in, just a little bit. And then, of course, you have your beeswax. That's it. You just have 3 things. And you put that, there's different ways you can do it. YouTube has a million videos on it. How I'm doing it is I'm going to put it in a double boiler. And then, I'm getting hot with this iron here. Pop my window open a little. It's pretty hot in here. Hello? I'm making wax wraps. That's why I'm ironing all this. I washed all the fabric last night, but I don't necessarily have to iron it. This one here is not very wrinkled. A couple of the cotton pieces, they have to be 100% cotton, were very wrinkled. So those I have to, but I find that it will be easier to cut the pieces if they're, but you just use 3 basic ingredients, and you have to have like 100%, the 100% beeswax. I know some places have like 95%, and it has to be 100% because you're gonna put it around food. But you can just put them right around your food bowls, and it saves on plastic wrap, and they're good for a year, like 6 months to a year. And all you have to do is take cold water on them, wash them off. Should have had some of these made to show. It's hard to show what I mean when you don't have the pieces made. Whew, it's hot in here. I'm trying to, oops, this one's pretty wrinkled. I just need to iron the ones that are like really wrinkled, like this one. I'm making beeswax wraps to cover it over your food. And not all the fabric necessarily has to be ironed, but it will help when you go to lay it flat to cut your pieces out. But you want to use some pinking shears on them when you cut them. You can do them before or after so that it saves from fraying. But they go around your food, so you want to make sure that you wash them. Like I said, you don't have to, I should have an ironing board. I don't have one. I actually gave it away. I was never using one when I had my old house, and I moved into this one about 9 months ago, and I never had a need for one because I didn't actually iron my clothes. Hello, welcome in. I'm making beeswax wraps. Some of the fabric, I had to hand wash all the fabric. I did that last night, and oh my word, I was like 6 hours washing fabric. So I washed all that, and now I'm just gonna iron some pieces. You don't necessarily have to iron them because when you put the beeswax, the melted beeswax on it, they're gonna flatten it anyways. But it will help when you're going to measure it for your piece, whatever size you want. It will help. But I was gonna make like 3 packs, and I was gonna make these as for Christmas gifts. I don't really have a lot of room here for some of these big pieces. Some of these are just too big. I definitely need an ironing board. But we got kind of a stormy day today, so I'm not going anywhere. I broke my femur a few months ago, but I could make it to the store, but no sense chancing it. It's all right. It's actually kind of relaxing just sitting here ironing. I'm making beeswax wraps. You don't necessarily have to iron your fabric, because when you put the melted wax on it and you brush it with a brush or a roller, or you iron it flat, I'm going to use butcher paper. There's different ways that you can do it, and there's a million videos on YouTube, but they cover your food, so you don't have to use the plastic wrap, and they're good for like up to a year. So, but it's actually kind of relaxing just sitting here and ironing these. So, well, thank you for the likes and the subscriptions, and I appreciate them all. I got some small pieces here that I was thinking I could use these small pieces for like jelly jars. That would be cute. I wish I had a couple wax wraps to show. I'll have to get some done out. Kind of hard to show what I mean if I don't really have anything to show. But as soon as you lay wax on these, they're gonna flatten out anyway, so you don't necessarily have to iron them, but it will make it easier when you go to measure them out. If they'll be easier to lay flat. So, hi, welcome in. I'm making beeswax wraps that go over your food like a plastic wrap, but you're saving on your plastic wrap. Some of these fabrics don't have to be ironed. I did hand wash them all last night so that I got all the chemical and dirt and all that junk out of them before I started doing this. And when you put it in the oven, or if that's how you want to do it, some people use an iron right on top of it. But when you do that, the melted wax is going to flatten your fabric anyway, so it's not really gonna matter. So I don't necessarily have to iron them all. I'm running out of hangers here, but I figured I spent 6 hours hand washing all this fabric, and then I would put it in the wash machine on like a rinse and spin cycle. So it took me like 6 hours last night to wash all this fabric. But I think they're really neat. They go over the food. You could have like and because of the wax, they're very pliable, and you just take them and you just put them right up in your, and then when you're done with it, you just take some cold water, wash them out, and you just fold them up and store them. And then you don't have to buy any more plastic wrap and deal with all those boxes that they don't tear. And but these will last for 6 to 8 months, you know, depending on like how much you use them, if you use them a lot, and some of them are like really big. So I was gonna make these for Christmas and maybe sell a few. Um, but like you can do like a 14 by 14. So that would be a big one for like a bowl. Um, you could have like a holiday print, you know, to go to a holiday party and have your, um, great for summer. You can actually, because they're so pliable, you can fold them. You can make little sandwich baggies out of them. So they'd be great to take to the beach with your. Trying to see the comments here. I got the phone turned the other way and I can't really see the comments, but um, somebody did mention a subscription and I appreciate it very much. And I appreciate all the likes and I thought I spent all this time to wash all this fabric. I guess the least I could do is iron it. Even though the wax is gonna. As soon as I put the wax on it, it's gonna flatten it anyways. But I was running out of hangers, so I'm just gonna throw these on top there for now. And that when I bought all this fabric, I didn't know that it had to be 100% cotton, which makes sense because it's going to go over food. So I went back and I bought more fabric, making sure it was 100% cotton. And then I was like, dummy, just ask ChatGPT, give the name on the bottom of the fabric, whatever it is, if it's Christmas holiday print by so-and-so, and then ChatGPT would look it up for me and say, yes, that's 100% cotton. So I bought all this cotton fabric yesterday that I didn't necessarily need. And then I moved into this house moved into this house in January, so it's been quite a year yet, and forgot about all the fabric I had in my closet. So I had a ton of fabric. But I wish I had a sample to show. These will be good. I'm trying to find some smaller pieces here. The big pieces I can't really iron on this. I like the tie-dye print. It really frayed a lot when it went in the wash. But I have pinking shears, so that will help it from fraying once they're all made. I love this print. It's Mark Twain. A real pretty print. Kind of like a summer in the boating and just chillaxing under the trees, and I really like this print. It's so pretty. I don't know if you can see it, but real pretty print. So I'm making beeswax wraps. So I washed all this fabric last night. And it took me like 6 hours to wash it all. But I hand washed it and then I put it in the wash machine, and don't necessarily have to iron it. It's actually kind of relaxing just sitting here doing this. So pretty wrinkled, but I know the wax is going to take the wrinkles right out of it. Beeswax will, the hot beeswax will flatten it right out. I don't necessarily have to do this, kind of a waste, but that's all right. They look better. I just have some that are just too big of pieces for me to iron here. I need the ironing board, but I'm just going to try to do some pieces, and oops, they like frayed awful. You can see I cut off more of this stuff last night. I do with my scissors. But I'm making beeswax wraps. These will be fun. There's only like 3 simple ingredients, and I got everything right off Amazon. And welcome in. But I hand washed all of them to get all any chemical, dirt, anything out of them. And you'd be surprised when you do that. I washed them in cold water. But that's the way they said to. With just a tiny bit of like laundry detergent. Or they said not to use dish detergent, but you could use Dawn. But there was a lot that came out, and it made me think that it's like, oh my word, people use fabric every day. It's like, I wonder how much they know how much actually comes out of the fabric if you wash it first. Don't know why I did that. Now I just put a crease in it. Dummy. What is that for? Alright. A lot of this doesn't necessarily have to be. Some pieces do now, but I don't know if I can. It frayed so bad. It was some of this cotton, horrible. How bad it frayed. Whoop. Do that. Really need the whole table to do these pieces. I really need a ironing board. I got rid of it when I moved because I never used it. Now don't I wish I had it. Whoop. Sorry about that. Trying to iron some fabric here. I'm going to make wax wraps with them that you cover your food with. They don't necessarily have to be ironed, but like this particular piece it's so wrinkled. It probably would help in cutting it. But you just use 3 simple ingredients, so to speak, but it's just a rainy day, kind of dreary day here on the East Coast, and so I thought, why not? I put all that time into washing them. Thank you for the like, I appreciate it, and any subscriptions, I appreciate them very much. Sorry if I'm not seeing the comments. I really should have the whole table to do this with. Not this. No, I'm not even gonna deal with it. I got a lot more to go, and even if I needed a piece off it, I got enough iron. But as soon as I put the wax on it, it's gonna. Actually, I wonder if I did. I know I keep moving the phone, and this is not the best setup for me. Hello, welcome in. I'm making beeswax wraps, and I'm just ironing some of the fabric that is really wrinkled from washing it. You don't necessarily have to, I need an ironing board. That's all right. I got rid of my ironing board when I moved because I was never using it, and wouldn't you know it, now I wish I had it. Then I was thinking, God, the hardware store probably has, bring it right out to me. Flicking it with the iron in my hand. But real pretty fabric. This one here was pretty wrinkled. When you make the beeswax wraps, the melted wax is gonna flatten it anyway, so you don't really have to iron it, because like I said, the beeswax the melted wax is gonna flatten it right out anyways. But it would make it easier when you go to cut the size that you need. It would make it easier. But I've had some pieces that really, they don't need to be. That's funny, some of the cotton is like so wrinkled. But I haven't started cutting them yet. Figured I'll do that next. And I had to open the window. I am so hot. Dying with this iron. I'm so hot. They'll make great gifts though. I'm gonna do like a 3-pack. That's what I'm giving for gifts this year, is a 3-pack of beeswax wraps. Ooh, I need to pop open that window. What in here? Hello? Iron and beeswax covers with, that you cover your food with. And it saves on like plastic wrap and whoop. Didn't even know that was there. I love the tie-dye. We get some beeswax wraps made so people can actually see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna find some small pieces here. Hey, what are you doing up? Poor cat's been stuck inside for 4 days. There's a lot of water. I filled it not too long ago. I've had this iron for years, and I think I've probably maybe used it once. Oh my word. I don't even know why I'm bothering with these pieces, but I'm sure I could find something. I could make something with these little pieces sometime. Oh boy, these pieces were horrible in the wash. They all twisted and they frayed a lot and thread on them and awful. My cat wants to come in. Check on the cat, yes. Think Caddy wants to come in. Did you pull that through after I did that? No. You couldn't get out of it, could ya? Ha 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 ha. You can't pull my arm through. Didn't it? See, thanks, Sissy. Thanks for the sweater that I can't get my arm through now. Love ya. I love ya. I'll read it. All right. Hold on. It's already got really covered. Yeah, no, leave it alone. Leave it alone, leave it alone. Andy, get that. Come on, guys, out. Leave it alone. Johnny, come in. It's up to you. You want to come in? It's up to you. Hey, stop. Bentley, let the guy in. Jeez. Oh, my word. Poor guy, no wonder he wants to be outside all the time. Hey, stop. Get down. Hop down. Don't chase him. That's why he wants to be outside all the time. Can't chase him. All right, back to what I was doing. Now he's in. I don't have to stare at him out the window anymore. Probably shouldn't even bother with these small pieces, but I'm sure I can find something. I ain't going to waste it. Maybe I can make like a 4x4 or something of it. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Whew. Getting hungry. I'm pretty hungry. I only eat one. I don't know why lately. I'm only eating like once or twice a day. I don't know why. It's like I just don't feel hungry for some reason. Hello, hello. I'm making beeswax wraps. I washed all the fabric last night. So now I'm ironing it, which doesn't actually have to be ironed, but it will help when I go to measure it out to cut it. But they cover your food, so you don't have to use plastic wrap. So it's just with like 3 little ingredients. And one thing I learned with this that I did not know, and I probably would not do again, but on this fabric, it actually has little spots in it. And they said what happened was that when they manufactured it, they never brought forward actually all the colors. So when I washed it in cold water, like I was supposed to last night, it brought those extra colors that when they manufactured it didn't come through. So they'll be good test pieces. I mean, somebody might even like it. It doesn't look bad, but it's definitely not the tie-dye look. It didn't do it to every one, thankfully. I have quite a few up above, but I really like the tie-dye. I think the tie-dye will look neat as food covers, but they have to be 100% cotton because you're gonna put them over food. You can even, they're so pliable, you can even fold them and make little baggies with them. Fill them with, pretzels, whatever, but that's why they have to be 100% cotton, because they are going to be near food. So don't necessarily have to iron them all. When you lay out the wax, it's going to flatten it anyways, but some of them are definitely a lot more wrinkled than others. So those ones, like, I love this one. It's so pretty. This is called the Three Wise Men. So this one doesn't necessarily have to be. It's not very wrinkled. It is a little bit. But as soon as I put the wax on it, it's going to completely flatten it like ice anyways. But I have some. I had some that were a lot more wrinkled. Like, to me, this is pretty wrinkled. That's pretty wrinkled. So I'm ironing ones like this, but you just put the 3, you got them here. You got the beeswax pellets. You got the pine rosin, and you got the organic oil to put with it. And you just put a little bit of each. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put a measuring cup in boiling water and let it boil a little bit. But you want to watch it, make sure it doesn't burn it. And then I'm going to take a brush, and then you just, have this like setting in a pan with like some butcher paper or whatever paper underneath it. And you're just going to spread it on it. And then you pick it up like immediately, and you just kind of give it a quick little wave. It will dry that quick. And then what you can do is you can use them to wrap like around your bowls, to put You make little baggies out of them. You can fold them, make little baggies, and they last like 6 to 8 months. And then all you have to do, if they start to not be pliable anymore, you can just add a little bit more of that little wax to them, and that will make them last again. And but you just wash them with, just wipe them off with cold water is all you have to do. So like I said, you don't necessarily have to iron them, because as soon as you put that hot wax on them, it's going to flatten them anyways. But it's definitely going to save a lot. You know, and plus I hate pulling plastic off off the boxes. They're horrible. And I can just grab one of these right up out of my cupboard, and I'd have them folded away. But it's still a little wrinkled, not too bad, but it's better than it was. And so I went to the store and I bought fabric, and then I didn't know it had to be 100% cotton, and a lot of off the remnant rack didn't say if it was 100% cotton. So I asked ChatGPT. I gave the name that it would give at the bottom with who it was by, and it would look it up for me and tell me if that fabric was 100% cotton. So I wish I'd done that before I went yesterday and bought more fabric that I made sure was 100% cotton. Callie, a little bit warmer in here, huh? Not too bad. I don't know what the temperature is out. Not raining, at least. Huh? It was supposed to rain and snow all afternoon, and it doesn't look like it's raining. But I know as soon as if I went out to go get anything, it would start raining. So this is actually pretty relaxing, just sitting here and ironing these pieces. Hi, Dee Dee. And Willow, too? Oh, my gosh. Willow, you getting used to that now? Huh? You kind of threw a fit when I put it on you, didn't you? Yeah. She's like, yeah, I wasn't into getting dressed. Huh? Where ya? Say, no, I wasn't into getting dressed. What this stuff you're putting on me? I need some more. Hangers here. Oops. Running out of hangers. What else we got here? We got a lot of the same here. Pretty wrinkled. Pretty wrinkled. These pieces right out. Boy. Hope everybody's having a good day. Good day for a nap, huh? Kind of a dreary day. We'll have these all ready for summer, huh? These would be great for summer. I gotta get me something to eat. Pretty hungry. I am pretty hungry. Give me something to eat. This towel is annoying trying to do it this way. Hey! Stop. No, no yipping. Stop it. No yipping. No yipping. Oh my word. I gotta quit here and get something to eat. Do this last one. I gotta get something to eat. Want a snacky, Miss G? I gotta get me some lunch. I haven't even eaten. I know I gotta get me some lunch. Miss G. Get a snacky, huh? All right, I gotta get something to eat. I'm hungry. I'm hungry.